100% about character. 100%. That's one of the hardest ones I've been involved in all three phases. And you guys never wavered. It wasn't pretty, but we did whatever it took to win. That's the motto of our whole team. Guys, we got another week together. All right, we got 8 days till we play next. All right, let's get right there. Guys, that game was 100% about character. 100%. That's one of the hardest ones I've been involved in all three phases. And you guys never wavered. It wasn't pretty, but we did whatever it took to win. That's the motto of our whole team. Guys, we got another week together. All right, we got 8 days till we play next. All right, it wasn't pretty, but we did whatever it took to win. That's the motto of our whole team. It wasn't pretty, but we did whatever it took to win.
Yeah, I think we did everything we could to win, except play fundamentally sound football. Look, man, I try to give... I don't even know where to begin with this because I feel like the Niners lost, man. Like, I woke up Sunday, I was like, fuck, man. We fucking lost. We got lucky. We got extremely lucky. Extremely lucky. I can't stress that enough. We got extremely lucky last night. The Green Bay Packers, they played better football on all facets of the game. They play as if they are inspired, as if they believe in the coaching philosophy, into the schemes. That guy, Valentine, number 37, I don't know if he's a corner or a safety or a strong safety or whatever the case may be, but he brought that Dre Greenlaw attitude, that nastiness that you need. You know, he never let off. He never let off. And I don't know if it's our defensive coordinator, but it almost seems like as if our team is playing scared. They don't play to the whistle. On both sides of the ball, I did not see enough blocking. Look, when the team and the defense swarms, let's say Christian McCaffrey, and you have Banks and all of these guys just standing, bro, push those D linemen or all that swarming defense off Christian McCaffrey. Christian is fighting for every fucking yard, and you just see linemen just standing there. You got to play through the whistle, man. A lot of this stuff, at least yesterday's game, is basically Pop Warner football, okay? Ambry Thomas, oh my goodness, man. He was pulling a Kyle Williams. One player to ruin everything. Steve Wilkes did a pretty good little job, okay? He did a pretty good job. I'm not too sure how much playoff experience that he had with the Carolina Panthers or Arizona Cardinals or wherever he came from. But he did a decent job coaching, okay? It's just Ambry Thomas was getting beat by Dobbs, Reed, number 80. He was getting beat by everybody, holding everybody, always out of position, can't make a tackle. And what's crazy is Ambry Thomas, I was so excited for him because maybe last year or 2 years ago against the Rams and Odell Beckham Jr., he did fucking great. He did extremely well to the point where I was like, bro, we can cut Jason Barrett. Ambry Thomas looks to be a good little player, right? The only 2-3 players that played extremely well yesterday and pretty much the whole year was Lenore. Lenore played great. Obviously, Dre Greenlaw played great. And then I'm going to say, obviously, Christian McCaffrey and Jawan Jennings. Those are the only players that played great. Jawan Jennings, he bailed Brock Purdy out on a lot of the times. Brock Purdy yesterday, he was garbage. I don't care what the stats say. That dude missed so many easy chuck downs. And I was telling my brother before the game even started, the Niners do a horrible job playing in the rain. When it's the rain in the Levi Stadium, I seen it like 2-3 years ago against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I'm being very nitpicky here against the Colts, and Michael Pittman was mossing our DBs. Jonathan Taylor ran over, 80 or 100 yards on us. They popped off. We got beat like 33-16. Niners do not play great in the rain, and it's been like that for quite some time. When we think about Sunnyside, California, you don't really think about the rain, and that's just one of the things that's been happening for as long as I can remember. Ambry Thomas was garbage. And I don't know if it's Steve Wilkes' inability to put in Isaiah Oliver or somebody else. But why is the New England Patriots Logan Ryan in our backfield as a safety? I think we just barely picked him up 2 weeks ago. Why is he even gaining playing time? I know Hufanga is injured. I know Tashawn Gibson is a little older, and I know he was slipping a few, especially on that corner end zone touchdown pass. But what happened to Jair Brown? I don't know, man. I just feel the craftiness, the intelligence of moving weapons around from the offense and the defensive side of the ball. These guys are not masterminds. For example, Debo Samuel was out. He didn't even play the whole fucking game. I think just 2 plays. And like Juwan Jennings gets a handoff. If you're going to run physical with Juwan Jennings, why can't you just put in Trey Mason to run that ball? Right? If your job is to go sideline to sideline, use a double-headed running back. Put Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. I don't know, whatever formation that you want to put, and then just motion Trey Mason and then just hand him off the ball. Why are you using Juwan Jennings? That dude is not, I mean, he's good. Obviously, he made an amazing catch into triple, quadruple coverage, and then he got hit in the back. His head snapped. He still held onto the ball. But he's not necessarily a physical player. You know, he's kind of quirky in terms of a physical runner. You know what I'm saying? And Brock Purdy, I don't know, man. I feel like it's either the schemes or the lack of Kyle using his mobility to roll out, you know, on some play action and just get him moving, right? Get him moving, get him to roll out, get him into a field. Because if you're just trying to exclusively make him into a pocket passer, that's not his forte. That's not his strong suit. We're very fortunate that we have Christian McCaffrey because I don't know what I saw yesterday, the temperament, the passion to play every single play like it means the world. I didn't see that. I saw Brandon Ayuk when George Kittle broke a tackle and he was running down the sideline. I saw Brandon Ayuk just standing there. The old Brandon Ayuk, regular season Brandon Ayuk, he's blocking fucking downfield. I saw him standing there on multiple plays. And then a linebacker came and tried to pop Brandon Ayuk because he's just standing there. Funny that Ayuk just took the hit and then the running linebacker just fell down to the ground. But I saw everybody not play with a great passion. They were just standing. It was like, bro, like, do you guys want to fucking win? And mind you, no disrespect to the Green Bay Packers, but a lot of these dudes are not only the youngest team, but a lot of them are rookies or into their second year. It wasn't like they were doing anything spectacular. You know, by the time Aaron Jones was touched, he was already 5 or 7 yards down the field every single time. And mind you, he wasn't just running up the middle. He was running from sideline to sideline, right? They pitched him off the ball. He already ran 10 yards to his right. He would take it upfield, and he would get another 7 more yards. Literally, he ran 17 yards before he got contact. We'll go to a different point. Ever since Nick Bosa got paid, he's been non-existent. It's almost as if these guys that get paid these fat-ass contracts, once they realize what the stipulations and the incentive is just to remain on the field, they play very careful as if they're playing for something to lose, right? And Nick Bosa, at least from what I've seen, I don't care about his quarterback pressures. I'm just saying doing his fucking job. And it doesn't necessarily mean getting sacks. Sometimes it's just making a tackle. Sometimes it's just playing your position and to contain, not overcommitting, right? Ever since he got paid, and many guys fall into this category like Albert Hainsworth, Khalil Mack, his brother Joey Bosa, you might even say Aaron Donald, Von Miller, the list goes on. When these guys get a big-ass contract, not only do they play as if they got something to lose, right, by not being on the field, but they should be playing like they're trying to get that money, like they're playing for that contract. And it's very, and again, I don't know if it's scheme, if they have to overcrowd one side and then they got to twist and stun upon one another to mask. But they had 6 linemen, the Green Bay Packers, and the Niners were damn near rushing 4 every single time. On the flip side, the Green Bay Packers were doing the same thing. And we would have 6 linemen, and their Green Bay Packers D-line, they would still penetrate the gaps. And they were always putting pressure. And they were winning that 6-4 battle. And somehow we're not winning our fucking battles. I don't even think we recorded a sack. Jordan Love, for the majority of the time, was not really pressured. He had all time to throw. If you rolled out, like, you're just thinking, oh, man, is someone going to get a holding call? Yo, give me a second, man, because apparently someone's calling me. Hey, yo, Drew, mic check real quick, brother. Can you hear me? Drew,
Yo,
Drew.
yo, yo.
I didn't know that you were on the panel, brother. My bad.
Oh, it's all good. I didn't even know you were accepted me.
Nah,
I was just kind of,
just right now.
I was watching TV and I didn't know. I was like, oh shit.
Let me ask you something, bro. Let me ask you something. All right. Because we survived one, bro. We survived one last night. And I know there's that whole old adage of it's better to be lucky than good. But how do you feel today, bro, after what you experienced? Because I feel like right here, Trent Williams' face says it all. How do you
in the
feel
locker
about
room?
what you fucking witnessed yesterday, bro?
Was that in the locker room?
Yeah, this was in the locker room. This
Okay.
is the 37 speech by Kyle Shanahan. Check this out.
Guys, that game was 100% about character. 100%. That's one of the hardest ones I've been involved in all 3 phases. And you guys never wavered. It wasn't pretty, but we did whatever it took to win. That's the model of our whole team.
All right, were you able to hear that, bro?
Yeah. I seen this already.
Okay. So Kyle Shanahan says that game was all about character, right? And it was one of the hardest games that he's ever been in. I agree, bro. I don't know about you, but I was stressed the fuck out yesterday. Stressed. I'm sure the rest of the Niner fans, they were as well. I didn't even have money on the line, and really because I don't trust my Niners, bro. I don't trust my Niners. And it's one of those things that I learned where I'm not gonna bet on my team because if they lose, not only do I lose money, but then I feel like a double loser. You feel me? But look, bro, before we get a little bit more into the game, and then before this other game starts, I think the Chiefs maybe at 3:30 or whatever. How do you feel going into like the Lions, bro? How do you feel? How do you feel right now after the BS that we watched last night?
Good, man. I mean, this is the thing. I think the Packers were fucking peaking, bro. That's what happened. I think they're gonna be a threat next year.
Yeah.
And their receivers are big and tall as well. And they're barely finding their niche, and yeah, bro, it was crazy because this game, it reminded me a lot of the game versus the Packers like 2 years ago. I think it was. We got lucky, like we blocked the punt and we returned one for a touchdown. Like we got lucky right there. Like defenses or special teams usually don't score, but yeah, it gave me those type of vibes, because Jordan Love, I mean, was being careless as well. It's just that
Yeah.
ge- uh, he was doing some explosive plays more than anything, and yeah, man, they're pretty good, man. That I think that squad is pretty good. I think the Lions would have still been afraid of the Packers if they met them in the NFC Championship. Like they're still a fucking threat. I think the Packers are actually better than both those teams, bro. I think we got over the big threat. I think the Lions are kind of built like us a little bit. They got their own little Debo and Amari St. Brown, and after that, it's Reynolds. It's like, all right, who's Reynolds? So that's why I'm like, I'm not as afraid. It's just that they're built like us, bro. They got
Nah,
Laporta. That's
I
that's
think
like that's
yeah,
like
correct. Okay, now go for it.
that, and they got Laporta, and that's their version of Kittle, pretty
Yeah.
much same university. So I mean, Reynolds, I don't know too much about. I'm like, but I do know they have pretty damn good linemen. I remember 2 years ago we played the Lions.
Yep.
Fucking Panay Sewell was just fucking swarming on Nick Bosa, bro. Like
Yep.
he really shut him down, bro. Like, and then look at Chase, bro. Like he wasn't doing much, you know. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like he's not really like you know, living up to his potential, you know, and in general, he's supposed to be fighting for position in the future, you know, like it's not just for right now. There other teams are scouting for him too, you know, but it looks like I wouldn't bring him back. But yeah, like this whole playoffs, bro. I'm just like, damn, like I was nervous, bro. Like we
Yeah.
really got fucking lucky and I learned a lot. You know, I think Brock really does struggle in the rain. I think this dude I think fucking Brock heck, I don't know. Like, he has must have small hands because Jordan Love didn't really have that much trouble. You know, he was fucking chucking that ball, bro, and
Yeah.
um and he was inaccurate too, but he had muscle on that ball, and I feel like Brock was a little more like a little more nervous coming, like you know, like he was just kind of like aware of this fucking defense and how good they are, and he was like, "Fuck," you know, like, and I don't know what was happening on Brandon Ayuk's side, but I think things kind of closed down on him once we lost Debo a little bit. But Christian's that dude, bro. Christian's really good. Um, I
Yep.
feel like bigger. I feel like Brock just wants a big ass dude to just catch it regardless of where he's at. And that's what every quarterback needs. Every quarterback needs that big ass motherfucker that's just gonna catch it, make him look good. But
Yeah.
we don't have that guy. We don't have, we need a guy that creates separation. And Ayuk was getting locked down. He was getting locked down by Alexander. And I know the Packers just traded away their other corner to the fucking Bills earlier this season, and he was doing pretty damn good. So I can only imagine how good they were when they had him. I was like, fuck, okay, this guy. Like, I know they don't have much after Alexander, and somehow they still did a pretty damn good job, bro. And I think the outcome a little would have been a little different if Debo was there. We would have had a little more options.
Yeah.
Um, we would have just ran that ball, bro. Like we have more options to run the ball, and
I'm gonna
um,
say this, bro.
yeah,
I completely agree. I feel like, look, if you lose Debo, okay, that's a big blow because he brings the physicality that the Niners lacked yesterday. That extra effort, he always brings it, right? He's kind of like our like Dre Greenlaw on the defensive side, Debo. But get Trey Mason involved, bro. That when you see that boy 24 run, he runs physical. And
hmm
sometimes I know Christian McCaffrey's a 60 down player that he can always play fucking 60 plays and all these things, but you got to get these young, and that's one thing that I liked about the Packers is they're getting a lot of the young players involved. Like for example, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. After this year, I think Trent Williams is done. Like
he said he's coming back.
look, he can come back, but and I know he probably had a pretty good year this year, but if you're really watching him, bro, I don't know. He's kind of lacking himself too. Look, man, I want to go to this point. I don't know if it's Steve Wilkes. I don't know if it's his scheme or his inability, because I know he started off as a DB's coach. And if I'm not mistaken, he used to be a DB himself. So he comes from that standpoint where he wants to do a lot of man. He wants to be very physical on the back end.
And look at
He
his
doesn't
interceptions, that he's
Yeah, and he
managed.
doesn't really want to get too creative on the defensive side of the front. I know he likes to blitz, which is pretty interesting, but I hate how he doesn't rotate a lot of his players in and out. So I don't know what happened to a lot of our safeties, but did you see Logan Ryan very active last night?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was active. He
So
wasn't making
why?
mistakes though.
Yeah, but why is he even playing?
He was like pretty much like the top free agent available
I
left.
know, but like, are we hurting that bad? Was
Looks
that
like
young
it.
safety that replaced Hufanga, was he out or what happened? Like I think Jair
Uh,
Brown, or what's his name?
Jair Brown.
Yeah, like what happened to him? Like why?
I don't know. He was in. He was in a couple plays. Like
Yeah,
I
man.
think they're switching him and Jair Brown. Is just that, Logan Ryan got he got Super Bowl experience like under his belt. So I don't know. Like I feel like it's
But
one
there's
of
a
those.
reason why he's no longer on a team.
No, no, what it was that his contract was up and he was sitting on the couch. He didn't want to play. He wanted to play for a Super Bowl contender. He said it was either the Niners, the Eagles, or the Bills, and then he chose
Oh,
us.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this, man. We don't need his efforts, bro. Fuck no, dude. What I saw from yesterday, I'm look, man. I don't know if you caught earlier when I was speaking about Ambry Thomas, but a couple years ago, he was doing a great job on Odell
Yeah,
Beckham.
yeah.
What the fuck happened to him last night?
Dude, I have no idea. I swear, what the fuck are we thinking about? I don't know. Like, we're so high on that class that we drafted. Like the
Yeah.
only year we draft two cornerbacks back to back, we're like hella high on them, and it's like, dude, like just because we drafted two cornerbacks, don't mean they gotta play. Like they're good enough to like start and shit. Like we gotta like get better on that like mindset. Like I have no idea what's going on, bro. I'm like, we're gonna stay away from another corner this year. This year we're gonna stay the same at corner, and that shit's gonna piss me off if we ever do. But I mean, we like I said this plenty of times. We need another solidified corner. We need another guy opposite of Mooney. And it's fucking ridiculous because these guys are way too up and down. We need to pay the big dollars if we have to.
Wait,
And
opposite of Mooney? Who's Mooney?
Travarius Ward, that's his nickname.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was like Mooney.
Yeah, that's his nickname.
Yeah, look, man. Yeah, Travarius Ward, he's really good, bro. I like him a lot. I like Lenore. I thought Lenore all year he's a little better than Ward for me this
Yeah,
year, man.
a little better
Lenore's
than
been playing
Ambry
great.
Thomas. Ward, he played.
Ambry Thomas, and I was so excited about Isaiah Oliver. And
Yeah, right,
all year he like when I see him play in the slot, he's garbage, bro.
bro. I
But
made him.
here's the
I've
thing.
seen him make plays on us on when he played against
Yeah,
us, and it's like, bro, what the fuck?
yeah, when he was at the fucking Falcons, I completely
Yeah,
agree. I gotta say this, bro. Why don't Isaiah Oliver has he's got size. He's like 6'2", long ass arms, right?
Mhm.
Why don't you put him or try him out as a safety, as a coverage safety?
Who?
Isaiah Oliver. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying? Why don't you try Ambry Thomas like how you guys had Jimmy Ward when he got
mm,
beat fucking by Brandon Marshall for 3 touchdowns on that Thursday night, way back yonder, and then they converted him into a safety. Try to do that with these corner. Try it with Ambry Thomas.
mhm.
You see what I mean? Put Logan Ryan as a fucking slot.
I know
Oh,
television kind of deceives
experiment.
their I know
Like,
television deceives their size, but I'm not sure how big they are.
but here's the thing: when it comes down to safety, you don't have to be that big. You could be 5'7", Bob Sanders, and be fucking physical. Now you might get mossed here and there by those fucking 6'2", 6'4" wide receivers, but if you play your position right, you're always gonna be in position to lay the hit. So what I'm saying is this: Steve Wilkes' inability to be very creative, I think, is going to cost us against maybe the Lions. To your point, if they don't just have that number 14, I don't know, St. Brown, they do have Sam Laporta. And I'm not going to lie to you, I think Sam Laporta is a little better than this 30-year-old George Kittle. You
Yeah.
see, because he's younger. And a lot of these younger guys have something to play for, got something to prove. They're also fresher. You
Hmm.
see, to your point, Penny Sewell, he's gonna lock down Nick Bosa,
Yeah.
and it's gonna come up to Eric Armstead or Javon. I saw Javon Kinlaw making more plays than what's that boy that we got from the fucking Eagles, right? I didn't even heard of Javon Hargrave all day last night. I don't even think we recorded a sack, and it
Yeah, well, he made a couple of tackles. Like, I think he's okay. Our interior guys are okay. It's just when Eric Armstead was out, um, like for some reason, Kinlaw played more though. I'm
yeah,
like, I thought you guys said Eric Armstead was healthy. And he was out and he played like 50%. I forget how many snaps, but Kinlaw played, and that's what was causing all those big old gaps, bro. He doesn't look like he's getting dominated. He looks like he's doing good, but it doesn't mean he's doing his assignment. Like he's blowing up assignments, bro. Like
yeah,
he's causing holes. He thinks like he doesn't look around. Like he doesn't look for where the guy is. He's looking on beating his battle, you know? Like
yep,
he's
yep.
strong, but it's like stick to the game plan. He doesn't put his hands up. He doesn't like he doesn't get. doesn't like try to like break from the guy and get a tackle because he's strong enough to do it. He's just low IQ guy, bro. He has low IQ. But yeah, dude, that's my thoughts on Kinlaw. Hello?
Yeah, no,
Huh.
yeah, no, I agree, man. I think we're as a Niner fan, bro. The future. I mean, maybe I'm being too pessimistic, but I'm not optimistic of the next years to come.
Mhm.
I think this is our window, and it's just this year, not next
Mhm.
year. I think somehow the Rams are just going to be better than us next year. You know, I feel like our inability. Look, I'll be completely honest with you. You let go maybe of, and I wanted to give Steve Wilkes a break. I wanted to give him a year to see if he can instill his philosophy. Because there's probably a lot of pressure on Steve Wilkes to try to be better than Robert Sala, to try to be better than D'Amico Ryans, right? But and to instill his philosophy, and then let alone have these players on that defensive side buy into your schemes and into your philosophy, knowing that you're essentially getting you replaced the other two defensive coordinators that became head coaches. So that's not an easy thing to do, right? It's like Mac Jones trying to replace Tom Brady. It's just like whatever you do, it's gonna be like, oh, everyone's gonna bring. Well, Brady did this, Brady did that. Under Brady, we won X amount again. So it's always going to. You're never going to replace that. But that doesn't mean you can't make your own history. That doesn't mean that you can't be successful, right? We've seen it with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and now we're seeing it with Jordan Love. All of these guys are having success. And as a defensive coach, there's not a lot of pressure, bro. In fact,
Do
if you just do your fucking research and
Mhm.
study the previous years, all you gotta do is just copy them.
Hey, bro,
Yo, yo.
do a live update on the Bills Kansas City Chiefs game, like on the NFL website, like you know.
Oh, you want me to talk about it? What's going on during the game?
Nah, nah, just like have it right there so people can see while we're talking. Like
Oh, I don't think I can, bro. I think they'll
nah,
just fucking terminate the channel if I do that.
like a not a scoreboard action, like a live
Let
scoreboard.
me try. If I go to NFL.com or something.
Um, nah, like ESPN. Okay, ESPN.com maybe, but like I know it because it's on CBS, so it won't. It doesn't have it live. It's just gonna show you a live score update.
Okay, I'll try doing the red zone. See if I can get like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
red zone app
Or
or something. But basically, I
yeah,
know right now the Bills got the ball and it looks like they fumbled it in the 50-yard line. The Chiefs are saying that it's their ball. Um, Let me ask you this, but I guess the refs are saying that he was down by contact, and that's the running back number 4. So it's gonna be one of those James Cook running backs. But yeah, he's down by contact. Look, man, I'm gonna try to end the live because I want to watch that game as well. But the Niners have a lot to work on. Yeah, maybe Debo can come in and it'll be a little more exciting, a little more, in terms of executing a game plan. Because Kyle, he called it a horrible game. Brock Purdy did not execute. Man, that dude was missing 5, 7, 3-yard passes to Christian McCaffrey, simple dink and dunk
yeah.
passes, and he just he was
I
unable.
don't think I don't think he plays his best in the rain, bro. Like he really and that's the thing. That's another thing. Don't you think you're supposed to have a quarterback that can play in all conditions?
Well, look, yes, he
Doesn't that
didn't
make
play. No, I understand what you're saying, and
Mhm.
yeah, I agree. He didn't play great in the rain. And then you said something amongst the lines that he doesn't play great in the rain, assuming
Mhm.
that he has multiple games played on the rain. I don't think so.
Cleveland Browns?
The Cleveland Browns was raining.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he played okay in that game, but he
Yeah.
didn't play that great against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Right.
He didn't play that great against the Baltimore Ravens or the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-mm.
You say he did
Both
okay.
raining as well on the Ravens game.
And the Ravens game as well.
Yeah.
Look, man, one of the things that I've noticed about Brock Purdy is that sometimes he gets tunnel vision, and sometimes I feel like he forgets that you have great legs, that you can
Mm-hmm.
extend the pocket, that you can roll out, and I think obviously you don't want to just play backyard football and just trying to make something out of nothing, but
Mm-hmm. And sometimes,
if the holes are there, bro, you gotta pluck them,
yeah, and
and
sometimes that tunnel vision is good. Sometimes like he gets in his zone and he fucking does his thing.
yeah.
but that's the one thing, like he knows how to like operate it in the best conditions, and that's what makes him kind of like the most efficient quarterback that we've had in a while, which is hard to get, like yeah, like you see like Washington Commanders, quarterbacks have the efficiency all the damn time, but it's just the people who they have around them. And I feel like we know what to build around. Like I feel like this time around, like we know what fat to cut off, for this season, and it's like we know who's who. We've seen people's true selves, like performance wise, and yeah, I feel like we know how to work. We know where to allocate the funds now. There's guys that we're overpaying, and we found out this season. And I feel like that's what's gonna make us better. I feel like we're gonna. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I see a lot of mock drafts this year that we're going for a tackle. Not to say that Trent Williams is retiring, but he's because there's a lot more reports saying that he's gonna stay for another year, regardless of what happens. Like one of those big media outlets, Niner outlets.
You talked
Like,
about trimming the fat. Give me a list on the defensive side, offensive side of players that you would part ways with.
um, so I wouldn't mind cutting or letting go of, like letting go. I'm saying add. Like we don't have to keep none of these guys. I think some of the we're playing some of these guys on rookie contracts. So it's like some of those guys we don't have to like pick the 5th year option or whatever that thing is. Sometimes it's 5th year, 4th year option
Okay.
for
Yeah.
certain
Yeah. Yeah.
guys. But yeah, that's why I wouldn't mind getting rid of those rookies that we have. And, even Talanoa Fanga, I wouldn't mind making a team think that he's really, really good and getting a really good fucking pick out of him. You know, like I
Right.
wouldn't mind trading up in the draft. Hella, like say dude, it would be a bargain if we traded away Talanoa Ufanga for like a top 5, top 10 pick. Like that's a bargain. Like we just suckered someone, but um he's flawed. We talked about this a lot. He's flawed. I
Yeah.
feel like we think he's a future, but I don't think he is. And I think he makes too many mistakes. Like he's not unreliable. And I feel like Jerry Brown is good enough. He I haven't
Good
seen
enough
it.
or
I've seen him
better.
get stiff armed. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
good
him.
enough or better. Like I like Brown's cover skills and
Yeah.
overall as a better player than Hufanga. But Hufanga, he's a playmaker and he's always around the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of those skills that you can't really teach
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, maybe he's not the best tackler. Yeah, maybe he plays too fucking hard and he's a liability on the defensive side in terms of containing or doing your assignment. But he knows how to be around the ball. And you can work with a player like that. But to your point, I agree. If you can exploit him and then move up, and you can be like,
Mm-hmm.
well, this guy's young, even though he's coming off injury,
Mm-hmm.
he's still going to be explosive. He's still, an all pro. And then
Mm-hmm.
you can use that. And
His
then to your
habits.
point, yeah, you can move up. To further along with Trent Williams, I think most likely he'll probably try to retire as a Niner. I think you said that, you know, barring what happens, doesn't matter. Like he's still
Mm-hmm.
gonna come and play next year, whether we
Mm-hmm.
win the chip or we come up short,
Mm-hmm.
which is very interesting. But you will look to draft alignment to start to replacing him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe
And I
even,
see a lot of mock drafts doing that.
yeah, that would be the logical choice.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But
I
what
would
if
say is
like
this.
what if we're able to like just stack up our O linemen? A bunch of fucking all like not a bunch, but like some really solid fucking linemen. I think that will make things a lot easier for Brock. You know, that's the way to go. I feel like is
Yeah, I
linemen.
agree. I agree. That's a really good point because Brock is gonna want to get paid soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what the Niners decide to pay him, that's going to be up to them and what they value going forward into the Niners' future. But if you are going to pay Brock Purdy, you have to start protecting him. You got to protect your investment. And to your point, yeah, you're gonna probably need a few. I mean, look at Tom Brady when he was with the Patriots. He almost had 3 All Pros every single fucking year. with Logan Mankins, some shit like that. And they always kept, having an amazing left guard or right tackle and company. They always had Pro Bowlers on that offensive line. And that's why Tom Brady was able to succeed with essentially, undersized wide receivers and make guys like Wes Welker, Julian Edelman into fucking studs. Because if he has time at 6'4" and he's able to throw a fucking dart because you're buying him time and he's not getting hurt or sacked or that much pressure, boom, he can fucking turn everybody into a beast.
I wouldn't mind trading away fucking Nick Bosa. That's a lot of money we're paying him. We're paying him a lot more than TJ Watt.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Look, man, that's a really good point. I'm going to segue into something. And Nick Bosa's career stats. So he has 209 combined tackles, 59 assists, 53 sacks, 1 interception, and he turned it for 46 yards. Okay. If I were to compare his stats, and he started pro as 2019. Okay. If I'm able to compare his stats to Max Crosby's from the Oakland Raiders, he also started pro in 2019, and he was like a 4th or 5th rounder. 321 combined tackles. That's almost 100 more than Nick Bosa, who has 209. 221, that's 119 more. 116 assists to Nick Bosa's 59, so it's doubled. 52 sacks to Nick Bosa's 53.5. Okay, that's Max Crosby. Right? If you were to see his sacks, this year he had 14.5, last year 12.5. In 2021, 8, 2027, and 2019. Nick Bosa has this year 10.5, 18.5 last year, 15.5. He had 0 in 2020 because he was out, right? And then you can be like, well, that might be one of the biggest things, in that year he got injured and pretty much missed damn near the whole year. Max Crosby is playing way better than Nick Bosa, like just career-wise. And to your point, it's an unpopular opinion, but I think you got to really start considering that trade after next year, right? Because this year, the Nick Bosa has not played like a $30 million man, maybe $32 million. He just not played it like that. His impact is not there. He was out of shape like the first 4 weeks. Right, so you give him a break to get acclimated back into the system, and since then, I don't know, bro. I can say the same thing with Javon Hargrave. These two gentlemen that the Niners paid over $220 million altogether, right? They just have not showed up. To your point, they don't do their fucking assignment, and there is no excuse why they can't get one fucking sack in yesterday's game, knowing that you have another guy, Chase Young, going to demand a lot of attention, knowing that you have also a first rounder and Eric Armstead and Jamal Kinlaw, and none of those guys can get a sack and win their one-on-ones. That's crazy to me, bro. Now, maybe Steve Wilkes has to realize, as good as they are and their reputation precedes them and their careers have done extremely well, and that would be the majority of the consensus, you still need to dial some exotic stunts and twists, overcrowd one side, bunch them up, still blitz off the weak side, whatever you got to do. You still got to help these guys. And you got to mask and just not just expect them to win their one-on-ones. But what I saw the Packers, they had Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan, they come from the same branch, right? They all learned under Mike Shanahan, the father. So they coach the same thing. Kyle Shanahan was getting out schemed yesterday. Same thing with Steve Wilkes. The Packers look to be the more dominant team. Obviously, the stats are pretty simple, right? You can be like, well, they didn't convert on the red zones. That was a difference. When the Niners got to the red zone, they scored touchdowns. When the Packers, field goals, and then they didn't convert on that 4th down. But, Jordan Love, as good as he really played, he shouldn't have made those interceptions to Dre Greenlaw. There's no reason why you roll out and then throw like a Mahomes crossbody and get that shit picked. Bro, just run, slide, or just throw it out of bounds and live for another play. You see, he tried to play hero ball. And against the Dallas Cowboys, he didn't try to do any of those throws. He did not try to play hero ball because everything was working well. And he had time. But I don't know. He shouldn't have thrown that. Almost you can say the same thing with Brock Purdy. He shouldn't have thrown it to a jump ball to Jawan Jennings. But luckily, Jawan Jennings is a beast as he is, and he was able to, moss all those dudes. That was really one of those circumstantial situations that, it's better to be lucky than good because, yeah, man, that's what it was. But look, bro, the game is starting between the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, right? It's 3-0. Bills are up right now, and then the Chiefs are marching down. Who you got winning this game? Drew. Oh, he left, man. Shit. Hold on. I'm trying to get in. Hold on. Yo, Drew. Let me see. I gotta remove this. Let me send you back the link because it doesn't show that I can. Gmail. I'm gonna resend you the link, brother, because I can't get you in. Boom. Type that in real quick. Send it to you. Alrighty, Drew. Let me know if you got that message, man. And then we'll go from there. What's going on, Vince? Happy Sunday to you, brother. What a scary close game. I'm glad that they pulled it off. Gonna rewatch it when I get home tonight with no one around. Yo, man, yesterday's game, that was torture baseball, bro. That was torture football. I know that you're an Oakland A's fan, but for a while, the San Francisco Giants, when they were winning a lot of these games, and our closer was Brian Wilson, we could not score a lot of home runs or a lot of runs. And we won a lot of close games, 2-1, 3-2, 1-0, 2-0, bases loaded. Brian Wilson, Sergio Romo, all these guys, Jeremy Affeldt would come in and close it, and you're nail biting every single fucking time. And full count, bases loaded, and somehow we were able to pull it off. The Niners yesterday they were torturing their fan base. They were torturing themselves. Fucking Dre Greenlaw, when he picked it, I know he's got that winter soldier brace on his right arm to hold on to the ball, but I was like, bro, just slide. And you can tell he wanted like a Navarro Bowman situation where he picks it and takes it to the house like he did against the Atlanta Falcons. But boy, oh boy, was that fucking like, dog, just go down, bro. Just go down.
Tell me about it.
It's just like, what the fuck are you doing? If I was like Alex Boone, the ex-lineman from the Niners that used to tackle Frank Gore, if I'm Fred Warner, bro, I'm drilling Dre Greenlaw. Just be like, dude, just go down. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, bro. No, it was like stressful, bro. I was like, fucking Greenlaw, bro. You're pissing me
Dude,
off. This is the second time. I feel like you've done this 3 other times before this. Like, God, man, it was so much going through my mind in this game. I was yelling. I was doing so much, bro. I really thought we lost this game, but like I said, this reminds me a lot about the Packers game we went through in Green Bay 2 years
yeah,
ago, and I really thought we lost that game too. And I
yeah,
was like, shit. So. The
I
boxing
agree.
gods blessed us, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. The football gods were definitely a little bit in our favor last night. And let's put it into perspective, bro. I don't want to be extremely unfair, right? I don't want to be extremely unfair and just be talking out of the side of my neck. But the Packers were a team with a lot of momentum going into the playoffs. They won a lot of games to get to that position. And then last week, they went into the Lions Den in Dallas, and then they beat in a closed dome environment. They spanked fucking Dallas 41-16.
Yeah, spanked them.
Okay. And every single time, that youth with Reed and Dobbs and Christian Watson and Jordan Love, they bought into Matt LaFleur. They bought into the system, and they know that they're like, we can fucking hang. So they were playing with a tenacity, with a temperament, and very inspired, and they believe.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There's this.
So we took their best fucking punch, and I knew it was going to be close. I expected the Niners to win. I didn't think it was going to be torture football. In the situation where you have to pull up that fancy stat and be like, wait, when Kyle Shanahan is down in the fourth quarter, he's never fucking came back and won. So it's good that he broke that mold. So to be fair, the Packers had a lot of momentum.
Yeah,
Uh,
but this game, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it, I had the top of my fucking head.
no
Sorry.
worries, man. But yeah, they had a lot of momentum, so it's very difficult to stop a team like that, right? The Arizona Cardinals, when they had Larry Fitzgerald and Kurt Warner was breaking all of Jerry Rice's records, like it happens, and then they go all the way to the Super Bowl. So it's very tough. And Kyle Shanahan and everybody in the locker room, they're like, bro, I've never been in a game this fucking tough.
Oh,
They're
okay.
not executing. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Dude, there's this fucking part where Chase Young is gets blocked by a dude named Christian Watson, the wide receiver.
I know, dude.
Did you see that play?
I also saw Nick Bosa get blocked by a wide receiver too, and then Aaron Jones just fucking goes for 20 yards. I'm like, Bosa,
Oh, I
you're
know.
supposed to fucking manhandle that receiver and push him into the running back. Let
Exactly.
me see if I can fucking find this play, bro. I
There's a
think it was
big
like the
difference.
second or the third quarter. It
There's
was so frustrating, bro.
there's a big difference between 2019 Bosa and this Bosa.
I
Big
agree, bro.
difference. Like he was playing like, like a animal, bro. Like I thought this was gonna be our next. He is, but it's just that man, like fucking Bosa, man. No sacks, really.
I know, bro.
So we need to do better right there. Yeah, no, this play, I think. I think it was this play where Chase Young gets blocked. Oh no, it's not. It's not. It's not.
It's gonna be hard to find it,
Yeah, it's
but
fine. You can find that
no, that's the punt return. So I think it's
yeah.
gonna be a little after.
Yeah,
Maybe takes it to the house, almost to the house. Alignment.
it was before that.
Oh, Purdy, bro. He was horrible last night.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can find it here. No, so I think they're gonna leave it out on the highlights, bro. So that's Drake Greenlaw
Oh,
picking it.
it was after we scored a field goal.
Okay, after we scored a field goal. So
But yeah, it's just crazy, man. Like, look, he's still in there.
yeah, just
Debo was out. That's why. Right here.
hold on, let me see what happens here. One of the things that I was getting pissed off so much, bro, is
Look at Nick in the bottom.
the whole game. Aaron Jones is running sideline right on a pitch, and he's already running like 5 or 7 yards, going sideline to sideline type of shit, and he's still able to go up before he gets touched like 10 yards, bro. It's like, where the fuck is our gap assignments? Look at their lineman, number 71, and this other dude. They're already at our safeties.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what happened to like stacking the box or just coming in and reading it, bro. Like,
he cut the hole and he thought right there. Like, where the fuck were you, Nick?
So Nick's right here. Let's see. He has to tell. So they're taking him out of the picture by going the opposite end, right? He's got to take an angle. This guy, whoever this safety is right here, he fucked up. It's like, bro, you already have it covered to the outside by your DB, who's probably gonna get blocked by Bulaga. And this dude right here, oh my goodness, what fucking angle is that?
Right.
If you just chop his legs, Bosa is gonna help you over the top. Sorry, and he fucking splits both of them. Oh my goodness, bro.
That dude Owen Burks, 48, he's from the Green Bay Packers. We got him from him, but he wasn't even that good. Like, damn, man, we need to switch. We need to get another opposite linebacker, a decent one at least. And it's crazy, man. Like, who was the guy that messed up his assignment? The guy that could have, like you were saying, like he could have went down low.
Yeah, it was one of the safeties. Let me see. So
Logan Ryan.
You got Dre Greenlaw crashing. You got Fred Warner trying to evade the block from 71. The hole opens up probably in the A gap, B gap situation.
Look at Kinlaw.
Has to fucking rotate. Chase Young's getting blocked. Lenore's getting blocked.
Look at Kinlaw.
Yup. Kinlaw has to. I mean, that's just speed. But my bad. Who the fuck is that? I don't know, bro.
Can't tell. It's hard to tell.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's probably fucking Ambry Thomas, dog.
Ambry or Logan?
Yeah, it's probably Logan.
Yep, Logan. 33.
Let me see this. So we have this probably a blitz. No, just 3-4. No, it's just masked as a blitz, and they just pull back.
Kind of got blessed right there. We got blessed.
This is when we're starting
but
making.
I don't know. I'm torn about Purdy, man, because he really just managed to march us downfield, bro. And really, it was pass after pass after pass, bro. You know, no, there's very few run plays on that drive. So like he's done that a couple times with, with the Cleveland Browns. Even though we lost that game, it was a missed field goal, but he marched us and put us in position to win that game with only 5 seconds left, bro. Like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna put that game on him. Moody's got to do his job and kick that
yeah,
fucking chip shot field goal,
and
bro.
it was raining on that game as well. So
Yeah.
that's what makes me a little more torn. Like, I'm saying all this to say that he does struggle in the rain, yet he put us in position to win, and he put us in position to win in this game as well.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely, man. There was a when I was watching the Matt LaFleur did a great job scheming, chip blocking. Just it was very creative, right?
Yeah.
It was just more of their inability to execute when it really mattered the most. And Jordan Love did choke on a few passes.
Mm-hmm.
And then same could be said with Brock Purdy on our end. But I feel like Brock Purdy didn't play good at all.
Mm-mm.
A lot of those plays are really misleading, or his stats are a little bit misleading because it's what those receivers were able to do to
After
even
the catch.
uphold his stats. Yeah, especially when it came down to George Kittle, especially when it came down to Brandon Ayuk. There was a fucking pass where he's completely wide open and he had to
Mm-hmm.
grab the shoes basically. He had to
Mm-hmm.
bend down low, stop, and grab it. It was just Brock was off, man, the whole day. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like even sometimes like that, you don't want to put Sam Darnold in the fourth quarter, but you got to start really warming him up before going into the half and just be like, hey, be realistic, Sam. You might fucking start because Brock's not gonna get the job done. You know?
Yeah. But it's like it's gonna show that we're not confident in Brock. And I think, we can do these type of things because he's still in his rookie contract,
Yeah.
and right now we're getting him for the low. We're not playing with house money. I mean, we kind of, I don't know if that's a correct term, but if we're not playing like he's not on the second contract or anything. It's gonna be us or a next team that's gonna have to take the risk on him. And it's gonna be easier for us to tell whether the risk is worth it or not. But I rather us just see, I don't know the payroll. So if we can manage to have a great defense and upgrade our O line and maybe even add a better wide receiver than Ayuk, or Debo, man, I'm all for it.
Yeah, well, you already got Debo. Like, you already have him for at least another good 2 to 3 years. Brandon
Okay.
Ayuk, I think this is his final year.
Hmm.
So there's always going to be a situation like that, and
And
respectfully,
this is the thing. We have the
Purdy.
building blocks. We have the building blocks to build something good. In Christian McCaffrey and Debo at least. Those guys are versatile.
Well,
So
these
they're
are the
like,
players that you have under contract, right? So in terms of the defensive side, more than likely you're going to lose Randy Gregory or Chase Young,
don't
and both.
mind.
More than likely, and necessarily you don't mind. You're like, they're mid-season acquisitions.
Hmm.
They're on a trade, but I would keep Randy Gregory if he can take a little pay cut,
Hmm.
or you can restructure it, or he'll
Wouldn't
take.
mind.
He's been really good. Like when
Yeah.
I've seen him, he makes impact. He seems like he's always looking back at Fred Warner's like, hey, what I got to do, and then he does it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like real quick too, I see that.
Say again.
I was like real quick too, I see that. Like
Yeah, he's always looking back. He's like, "Hey, Fred, right here," and Fred's like, "Yep, yep, just
yeah.
do this." And then he goes out there and does it. Like he
And
plays with that passion. He
right.
just doesn't know all the fucking signals and the calls.
Hmm. And
As
I
for
don't see
Chase
him.
Young, I'm missing Drake Jackson, bro. I really missed him, and I think
Oh
in this
yeah.
team, Colin Farrell. I try to tell you, bro, Colin Farrell is better than Chase Young this year, and
Shit.
we didn't have Colin Farrell. I guess he was out, so that was a pretty big blow. But yeah, man, if I'm the Niners. Look, it's an unpopular opinion, but I obviously you just signed Nick Bosa, but you probably look to trade Nick Bosa after next year just to see what his production is like. If he balls out, then you're like, yeah, Bosa's our guy. Just last year or this year, it's just not his shit. But see ya after next year. If he's not playing like Bosa
Hmm.
of MVP or his rookie year, trade his ass, bro,
Right.
and try to get like 2, 3 players. You're gonna need another linebacker because Fred Warner, I don't know, bro.
How much better does it get than him though?
That's another thing. How much better? Like
There's not too
I
many
think
of them out there in the
he's
market.
a little bit overrated, bro. I think Fred Warner's a little overrated. He's got great coverage skills, and I think that's just about it. And he's flying out there. He's flying out there. But I just think it's one of those situations where I feel like, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe you guys check me and you just be like, God damn, Rick, you just want to get Bosa and rid of Fred Warner?
I
Yeah.
know.
If I can get 5 to fucking 7 bodies for those two players, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Because look, you can win without Nick Bosa. You can win without him. I truly believe that. With Fred Warner, not right now because we don't have nobody to replace him with. But if you were to trade those two players and get 5 to 7 picks in return, you know, you're more than likely, depending on what Brandon Ayuk is asking for. But let's say, for example, Brandon Ayuk, if he was the Chiefs wide receiver right now, that kid would have more than 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns right now if he was with Mahomes in Kansas City. Right? So I'm just looking at that and like he would probably pulling off close to Tyreek Hill numbers. There's some type of games that Brandon Ayuk is pulling that type of fucking stats. Over 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 fucking catches. It's ridiculous. And how he's doing it is not just because he has amazing athleticism and he's fucking 6'4", or he has to be the fastest guy like Tyreek Hill. Absolutely not. He's doing it because he's a great fucking football player. He knows how to run fucking routes. Right? And that's how he goes about creating separation. So he doesn't have to be quote unquote that specimen. And he's lean. You know what I mean? He's good money. So if Brandon Ayuk really understands his worth, he's like our modern version of our Antonio Brown. Hold on. Drew's really quiet. I don't know if he's okay. Okay, cool,
No,
cool.
I'm in. I'm in.
Oh yeah.
No, it's just I'm trying to process. So I think Ayuk, um, I think he's good, right? He belongs with the elites,
Yeah.
but uh, I think we can get an elite for cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Like he he's gonna get paid fat, bro. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. As far as trimming the fat, like he's more disposable. There's more of hims out there, and I think there's few of them. He's one of the best ones like at route running, but I'm saying there's more out there that that are willing to get paid less, that
Yeah.
are just trying to win championships. I'm not saying that he's not trying to win a championship, but he's also trying to get paid, and that Eric Armstead got paid, he's happy, but it's like, man, now we need you to work like it. So, are we gonna get that value out of Ayuk? I don't know, man. Like,
I will
we
tell
like
you
this,
this.
but he doesn't. He's not a threat to the top dogs. Like, he did not get open. This is the thing. We need someone to get open against these Ravens, right? Like, we need someone that's gonna be a threat regardless of who's lining up in front of him. And it's like we're not like, is this guy a Puka Nakua? Like, I think Puka Nakua is slightly above this guy, and I think
Oh yeah, for
there's
sure.
you know
Puka's better.
yeah, see, and it's like, all right, see, this guy's kind of disposable, um, more than Debo. Debo's a harder tackle. He's gonna take every shot, but um, yeah, Debo's unique. Ayuk isn't. What was your other guy? Oh yeah, Nick Bosa. So I
Yeah,
agree.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I like Brandon Ayuk a lot. I know since he was a kid, he always wanted to be a Niner, and his parents are big time Niner fans. Like they have like pictures of when he was a toddler, and he was always rocking Niner apparel. Like so, I don't know, man. I didn't see that same passion with Debo. I know he was embraced and loved here in California, but I was really kind of put off with Debo before his negotiations. Like he deleted all his pictures of the association of being a Niner. This was during the contract negotiations. Yeah, I thought he was gone. And I was like, I think we were talking about this. I was like, I don't want this fucking guy, dude. Obviously he's a great impact player. And for what Kyle's trying to instill in the Bay, obviously Debo plays a better role than Brandon Ayuk, but you try to retain both of them, man. I think the more weapons that you can get from Brock Purdy, and if he's gonna be your guy, the better. I would say this, even though I know you like Jawan Jennings and he's cheap. You know,
He's still on
I
rookie
think
contract.
we'll have to look for a third weapon, bro. No, not just a McCaffrey or Debo or a Kittle. I think you need that third wide receiver, that badass third wide receiver. Just kind of how you were saying, how we might still need another DB, even though we have Lenore and Ward. You know, they can exploit the other teams that are offensively driven. Like let's say the Cincinnati Bengals, when they have that three-headed wide receiving core, you're gonna need that other Sauce Gardner. But I guess the way I look at it is this, and we talked about it in many lives before.
I forgot to go over it, Fred.
I've seen other teams do far more with way less. For example, last night, the Green Bay Packers, they don't have a Debo Samuel, right? They don't really have a George Kittle. Luke Musgrave, maybe in the future, definitely not right now. You know, they did way more than us, and they have far less players. Yeah, they might have a Jair Alexander, but we probably have two of them.
They
Lenore,
got they got two first round.
Ward.
They
You
got
know,
2 first round wide receivers.
yeah, I know, but Christian Watson, he's been hurt all year, and he only had maybe 1 or 2 catches last night.
He chip blocked Chase Young.
Yeah, no, I feel it. I feel it. But you know, that's what I'm saying. It's like just because you're a first rounder, that don't mean shit. You know, I've seen fourth rounders like Puka or a fifth rounder just outball you guys, and it's just because they bring that grit, that temperament, and
But
they
they're tall
fucking
wide receivers
believe.
too, though. They're
What
like
happened?
6'3". They're like tall wide receivers. They're 6'3", 6'2", and 6'3". Like
Yeah.
those are big receivers, dude. Lenore, how tall is he? 5'10". Like that's another dimension. That's one of those things too, you know. Like I want I want big corners, and I want dudes that have been dominating for a long period of time. I want consistency on their resume. You know, like when I'm when I'm trying to sign these dudes, you know.
Woo! Sorry, no, I
I
completely
seen that.
understand.
I seen that.
Patrick Mahomes, yeah, just threw a dime to Travis Kelce. Just for the fans out there, it's 10-3. Buffalo is winning in the second quarter with 12 minutes left. But as I say that, Mahomes just threw a 25-yard pass, hitting Travis Kelce right on the strike as just a fucking corner route, and he takes it for like 30 yards. So they're marching down the field, and they're damn near more or less in the red zone. Vince Vargas goes, I'm going to rewatch it when I get home tonight with no one around. He also goes, someone will overpay for Jennings. I'm sure he'll want a bigger check and a bigger role. Yeah, man, he might just pull a Kendrick Bourne and, you know, sign with the Patriots. They're going to be, see, Juwan Jennings, he's really good. He's not a number one. He's like maybe a number 2, but he's a great number 3. You see, where he's going to beat a lot of guys, like he's going to beat an Isaiah Oliver. He's going to beat an Ambry Thomas. So he's one of those guys that, you know, he just, when you do give him the ball, he is going to shine. He's going to be like, why don't you guys make him more involved of the game plan? But yeah, it's a
Imagine
really good role. I hope he signs with us. But
who?
again, well, I don't know if Juwan Jennings is
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
I don't
but
know.
I just feel like if Brock Purdy is your guy, right? Because at the end of the day, it's put it like this: we're always kind of like victims of time, like victims of the moment. Throughout the whole year, Brock has played extraordinary great. Like he's been great,
Yeah,
but we also
overall.
did have relatively a soft schedule. After finding out how mediocre the Seattle Seahawks were and our week, our division started off, you know, because at the end of the year the Rams got hot, but in the beginning they were horrible.
Mhm.
But as weak as our division is, we already got 6-0. You
Look
know,
at the
and
Cardinals
even the
too,
games
though.
that we did lose, you know, to like the Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals, Brock still played okay with those games. Like we didn't lose because of him, you know. We lost because of him against the Baltimore Ravens when he fucking throws 4 interceptions and he gets benched on Merry Christmas, and that was his shit. But I will say this, man. I think what the Niners do, obviously, I always try to say this: try to retain as many players as you can. Chase Young and Randy Gregory, they just calm down a little bit, right? Especially me, because I always like to. I have an extremely high expectations of this Niner team because of the names and respect to when they were drafted. A lot of first rounders, as I've mentioned many months past. If I'm the Niners, Randy Gregory and Chase Young are only going to get better the longer they remain a Niner. Okay. Now the question is this: someone is going to overpay for Chase Young, right? Someone is going to overpay for Randy Gregory because they are great players. Now the question is, will they be willing to take a pay cut, to be and remain a contender with the Niners? And then next year they'll get a fat, massive contract wherever they go, or they're gonna want it right now, right? Because Chase Young production, it's not really been there. Randy Gregory, I feel like he's popping off. When I'm watching the game, I'm like, damn, that boy, he's doing his fucking assignment. He's beating his one-on-ones. There's impact with him. But if these guys are like, nah, man, I want that contract that the Denver Broncos paid me, 70 million plus, then I'm just gonna be like, you gotta hit the road. So if I'm the Niners right now, I try to re-sign as much players as I can without breaking the bank. And I'm also doing this. I'm re-signing Brock Purdy, but I'm like right now, before we get into his, that one situation where it's like a clause or a fourth year or fifth year clause. No, I'm trying to get him like $10 to $15 million a year, right? Because he's not a $20 million and above quarterback. He's just not, right? And it's hard to have these conversations with him because he's gonna be like, well, look at the history. I threw the most passing yards since 2000, and Jeff Garcia broke his record. Yeah, that's true. But how many of those yards were yards after the catch? How many of them were on stride and then Kittle or Debo or Brandon Ayuk broke a tackle or they were extremely wide open? If you want those players, if you want to consistently keep throwing for 4,000 yards plus, you got to really realize the potential. Go to fucking, I don't know, Carolina and see if you can have success. You're also booming because you have Kyle Shanahan and he's built the roster. It took him 7 years to build this team, right? So if Brock Purdy really understands football, and we assume that he does because he's a fucking elite player in the MVP conversation and he's mystery relevant, so he knows what the fuck he's doing, then he realizes, yeah, bro. And I think I get that vibe from Brock Purdy. I don't think he's asking for 30 to 40 or $50 million a year. Between 10 to 19 million a year, I'm paying him, you know. Um, but again, I don't know. I saw the Niners overpay for Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know, Drew. What do you think, brother? What do you think?
I think I'm torn, man. I'm torn about on Brock Purdy. This is the thing. Like he's one of those guys where you have to rock with. Like I don't think we're gonna pay him the top dollar. I think reason why he's also like a good quarterback to keep is because financially, I don't think he's gonna require that big paycheck. Just enough to like whatever he's happy with. But I think it'll give us room to sign better players as well. I look at it that way, and I think we finally see people's characters. We got some true building blocks. Like, dude, we actually had a very historical season in Christian McCaffrey. I think having him is very special. Like, we is very important, bro. Like, we need to keep him. Like, he pretty much made us a Super Bowl contender. And
Yeah,
I think those dudes like him are like the building blocks. Like we know who to keep now. It's McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy, and obviously like Trent, and after that we can build off of that, and, for the years to come, and we can actually like adjust whoever's contract to make it feasible to like sign better players. I think we keep Fred Warner. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's just stuck between having bad corners, one a bad side and a good side. And I think teams are figuring him out. I think he's all over the field. It's just he's getting figured out. He's in the middle of the game. He's playing the quarterback of the defense.
yeah,
So he's actually a little more exposed. He's gonna get more exposed. I don't think it gets better than him. He leads all linebackers in interceptions. So it's like this dude's fucking has 5 interceptions on the season or four, I forget which one. But I think it doesn't get any better than him. He's just trying to get help out his other guys, and that's what's actually exposing him. So
yeah.
I think dude, honestly, I think we should just sign the corner. and like a top corner, bro. And I think our safeties. I realized the what safeties are actually supposed to do, and they're really just supposed to maintain their position and be in the right spot. There's really nothing too special they can be. I think corners are a little more vulnerable, and I feel like we need a corner who is supremely confident in what he does. Like we don't need it requires you require to have a great defense. I feel like you require a supremely confident corner on each side. Like you can't have no holes. I think 2021
Oh,
defense. I think in order to be good like the Ravens, bro, the Ravens have almost no holes. Like they are really good on their corners are pretty damn good, bro. And
yeah, no, their corners are great. You got, Humphreys, Martin Humphreys. You got the Hamilton dude. They're fucking studs. See,
bro,
that you have to understand is that they've
Kyle,
always drafted high for corners, and
yeah,
they have that. They know, like, there's some teams like in the league, like the Raiders. They know how to develop great corners, right? From Charles Woodson to Namdi Asamoah to the ones that they have now. The Niners, we build great linebackers because we have a history and a defensive coordinators coupled with like the assistant coaches. You start learning, and the energy and the knowledge just keeps transferring over. So we develop naturally great linebackers, but we can't ever make great corners. Even when we had like Carlos Rogers, he was good. Terrell Brown, he was good, but they weren't great, right? Same thing
mhm.
when we had like each team have their specialty, right? Like Bill Belichick, he could never develop a great wide receiver, right? But when it comes down to DBs, when it comes down to defensive linemen, they always find themselves a Richard Seymour, a fucking Vince Wilfork. They're a Judon. They're always able to
Bro.
find those fucking dudes that are studs. So
And guess what the
I get
Ravens have?
what you're saying with that, but I'm gonna put it to you like this, bro. The Niners, they're a pretty good fucking football team. Like they've been ever since Kyle Shanahan has been there. I'm gonna give the dude his credit because I'm really hard on Kyle, bro. Like, I'm not really a big fan. I wasn't a big fan of the signing because I'm like, how you gonna sign a dude right after they lose the Super Bowl 28-3? Like they were winning 28-3. Like, how you gonna sign him and be like, this guy is gonna save our franchise? And I was still ticked off with the Jim Harbaugh situation. So, I gotta let like I,
That's management, bro.
I gotta let like sleeping dogs lie type of shit. I
Yeah.
get it, bro. It's already done for, but so
But dude,
I've never. But I would say this: when you're going back a little bit with Fred Warner, right? I like Dre Greenlaw a little more. He reminds me of Patrick Willis.
Mhm.
You see, Fred for me is like a hybrid, very athletic. To your point, will get those interceptions because his coverage skill is better than Patrick Willis and Bowman. But Bowman and Willis were very physical, bro, very physical, and they had pretty good coverage skills themselves. They weren't amazingly athletic, like how Fred Warner is like leapfrogging and all these dudes. No, but Dre Greenlaw reminds me of more of Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis. And I feel in the very soon future, uh, if already not, Dre Greenlaw will replace and he will bring that mindset. I just feel like he's got that temperament. Like when I think about playoff football in the regular season, Dre Greenlaw is always bringing it. It almost looks because he has that fucking Winter Soldier brace on his right arm, like he's clotheslining dudes, and he's dipping them, and he's body slamming them. Fred Warner, I mean, you saw he was pretty soft against DK Metcalf. He got body slammed. He didn't fucking feel good about that. He was like, "Why am I getting body slammed?" So he fucking cheap shots him, hits him in the back of the head. And when DK Metcalf addresses him, what does Fred Warner do? Well, what do you mean, guy? Like, why are you hitting me? If that was Dre Greenlaw, bro, he's fucking punching security staff. So that's what I'm talking about. That fucking mindset. Federico Warner, he's gonna get fucking beat soon, bro. Like if he's not already getting beat soon. And that temperament is what I'm talking about, bro. Yesterday's game, the Niners were soft. Everybody. I can outline some fucking plays like I did earlier, but I'm telling you, bro, that guy Valentine, he was trying to punk every single one of our players. It almost looked like he was ready to throw it down every single time. Number 37 from the Packers. Look, bro.
They just do that to provoke other players, like, and I think Dre Greenlaw Dre Greenlaw is always that dude that falls for that shit.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And he did tell me why he did the exact same thing that got him kicked out. He put his hands on the other dude's face. He did the exact same thing in this game.
But check this out. He's supposed to do that. And the
Oh,
reason I
he's
say
supposed to
that,
get kicked. He's not supposed to get
no,
kicked
no,
out.
no. He's supposed to put his hands. I know it's like, bro, you like watch your temperament, but he's supposed to look out for the small DB in Lenore when that big ass lineman,
Nah.
number 71, is putting hands on Lenore. He's supposed to
Nah.
come in and he's supposed to be like, well, get the fuck away from him.
Well,
Like,
yeah, you're saying that, but
he shouldn't have called that flag on fucking on old boy on that call. Cause he's just like, bro, I'm trying to vouch. This dude weighs like 310 pounds. The Nor's 180. I'm 250.
But
I gotta fucking settle this, you know?
Dre took a big risk in doing that, and he didn't do it in a smart way. Like he's always emotionally like fucking guy, man. He's something else. He does great things, but he's also doing self-inflicting shit, you know. So
Yeah, no,
I like him though.
that's a good
I
point.
agree.
I feel you.
I agree when you said like he might just beat out Fred, you know, because Fred, he's just in a vulnerable position. It's his position that it comes with the territory, bro. I think
Okay, what do you mean
Dr-
by that, bro? Like, what do you mean by vulnerable?
he's in the middle of the field. He's the quarterback of the defense. So he's calling plays. He's also changing shit up. He's also, you know, so he's actually in charge of all that. He's actually the dude with the mic communicating with Steve Wilk. So he's worrying about multiple things, you know. So
Yeah,
he's more in a vulnerable position rather than Dre Greenlaw. He has he listens to one guy and he's explosive. And he's a little honestly, yeah, I agree. He's a little more explosive than Fred, you know, and yeah, that's he's I'm not trying to take away from Fred. I'm just trying to say like Fred is just in such a vulnerable position.
yeah,
Like he's done multiple things. He sees who's fucking up, and hoping that he's playing a hybrid position, a safety linebacker position.
yeah.
So safeties, he's supposed to be in a good spot, and
I guess the way
sometimes
that you're phrasing,
Steve Wilkes doesn't set him up sometimes in the correct position.
yeah. I
You know.
guess going back and just seeing how you're vouching for Fred. I guess I'll take it back, and I just feel like they're a good tandem together, right?
Mhm.
So it's good. Like they complement one another, I suppose. So, you know, I get what you're saying. I understand. You know, maybe I got a little carried away. But you
But
said something about
it's
this,
Steve
right?
Wilkes.
You
It's
said
Steve Wilkes.
earlier, like 10 minutes ago, that you finally understood what a safety position is, and you were talking about the contrast between them and a corner, and how you just got to do your bro. I actually look at it a little bit completely different. When I look at a safety, and I look at guys like, I'm not gonna bring out the legends like Ed Reed and company and Troy Polamalu and Brian Dawkins, but I'll bring in Cam Chancellor.
Wait,
And
what I say specifically?
you said you're like, I understand now, like a safety, it's more just like doing their assignment and like basically not fucking up. That's what you were saying, and you were like, a corner has much more responsibility where they have to basically be, Richard Sherman, 6'2", 6'3", and like be very comfortable, like, and confident in their round. Do you remember what you were saying?
Kind of, they're in a more vulnerable position.
Yeah, they're in a more vulnerable. Yeah, and I don't agree with that, bro. And this is why, when I look at a badass fucking safety, right, like Dante Winner,
Oh,
Deshaun
Buffalo got the
Wilson,
ball.
yeah, and Deshaun Golson and what's the old boy, and Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas, when there was a 9-0 rivalry against the Seattle Seahawks, right? They covered so much fucking ground. And we made it work with Terrell Brown and Carlos Rogers, pretty relatively undersized corners that just did their responsibility. Nothing fancy, just contained. They're just understanding their role in their zone and occasionally playing man. You know what I mean? They understood the role.
I feel like safeties.
Back then, we had amazing fucking safeties. I fucking loved Deshaun Golson and I loved Whitner. You know,
I feel like safeties see everything from the field though. Like they're waiting, they're
that's
protecting the
why
big ball.
you said they just have to contain. No, dude, they can at times crash the box and be another fucking linebacker if they're really fucking
That's the
physical.
defensive
Jump
coordinators.
on the read. No. Sometimes it's just player intuition and understanding film. Like, oh, I know when they
I
motion
guess.
this, and this player is in this package deal in this situation, boom, I'm gonna crash fucking down.
But
And
that was
that's
up to
just
him.
situation. To Sean Gibson, he has that. Except, like, now he's getting a little older, and obviously the element made him slip on that red zone situation and a touchdown to that corner. But when I look at our corners are probably the best that we've had in 10 years. Travarius Ward and Lenore are better than Carlos Rogers and Terrell Brown, right? But what we lack a little bit is on that safety, bro. We don't have a Deshaun Goodson. I thought Tart was going to be that. But he broke my heart, and he cost me $5,000 when he dropped that fucking interception against the Rams. And then we didn't really have a complimentary piece for Travarius Ward. Tart. You can say it was Jimmy Ward, but Jimmy Ward was always kind of mediocre. You have to understand, he was a corner that was converted to a safety, right? And to your point, you can be like, well, you see, Isho? Fucking, he was a corner, which is much more harder than a safety. You can say that, but I just feel like Jimmy Ward was still like a hybrid safety in the sense that he was still in that mentality of, I want to lock down a wide receiver in the safety position.
Did that move ever make sense to you?
With Jimmy Ward?
Yeah.
I understood it because Jimmy Ward, what he lacked in terms of being very shifty and athletic, in terms of covering those agile wide receivers, I did understand it because he was cerebral. So he was always in position. He just didn't have the athleticism and play ability, making ability to fucking make those plays and cover a wide receiver. If he goes from one fucking, if he's on the left side of the field and he's fucking doing a simple drag route all the way to the right side, Jimmy Ward just didn't have that speed or that athleticism to match up and just take and eliminate that simple route. But if you put him over the top as a safety, he's able to take that angle and position himself and then lay the wood. So yes, I understood it, but I also found out that he was expendable. You know what I mean? Like you can replace him, and that's essentially what happened. Like I think over there in Houston, I don't even think he started in the beginning of the year with D'Amico Ryans, but then he started.
They're built differently too.
Yeah,
their defense has like really good safeties and corners.
Yeah. They got badass corner in Derek Stingley. So he's he was right after Sauce Gardner. Like let's say Sauce Gardner was like 4, Stingley was like the 10th draft.
Yeah, no, I thought he was pretty
But yeah,
damn good.
I agree. Or maybe Sauce Gardner was like 10, and then Stingley was 24th. But they were all first. I agree with what you're saying, man. But I have a high respect. I've always admired and loved safeties, especially when you have a really good one, not just an athletic one, but when they can fucking come and cover and they can fill in the gaps and lay the wood. Like, damn, bro. Like, man.
No.
You can get a Cam Chancellor that can fucking cover and lay out Vernon Davis on the sideline, and he can still come in there and fill the A gap when fucking Zeke Elliott as a rookie is going there, and boom, they fucking bumping heads. Yeah, dude. You fucking want an enforcer that's 6'3" and, a fucking Sean Taylor. Like, woo, that's going to put fear into guys like Juwan Jennings that are trying to make that Cinderella catch because Sean Taylor ain't going to pick it. He's just going to fucking blow you up. Somersault you in the air. He's going to hit your rib cage and you're never getting up. But I mean, it's those are dying breeds, especially with this pampered NFL situation. But let me put it to you like this, man. Are you watching a little bit of the Chiefs game and the Bills or nah?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is it still 10-6 or?
Nah, they scored Chiefs Travis Kelce, pass to Travis Kelce. So they just scored 13-10.
Ooh, fuck. Yeah, dude. I thought the Chiefs were going to win. My weekend picks are going to be the Rams, Niners, Lions, and then the Chiefs. I just don't believe that Josh Allen can beat Mahomes.
They got the most. They just tied. They just tied for the most postseason touchdowns.
In between like a rivalry?
Between a duo.
Oh, okay. Damn, over Peyton Manning and Brady already?
They tied. They tied with Tom Brady and Gronkowski.
Oh, okay. Okay. Never mind. I understood. I got what you're saying.
And then after that, it's Joe Montana, Jerry Rice.
Oh, okay, for sure. I thought you were talking about like, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, no, that's to be expected because Mahomes, he's found and he's been consistent to go to the playoffs and execute and fucking just not fuck up. That dude has that clutch gene that it don't matter if he has mediocre weapons, if they can drop the fucking ball. He knows that he has that connection with fucking Travis Kelsey. Um, Look, man, we can talk about all this. How confident are you that the Niners will beat the Lions next week?
I'm 80-20.
80-20 confident.
Mm-hmm.
You think they'll play better? Well, they can only play better than what they showed last night, right?
Yeah, and we're not gonna play in the rain.
Okay.
So that
Are you gonna
that's
go to
a little
that
better.
game?
I'm thinking about it, but I'm not too sure.
How was your payout with the tickets for yesterday's game? If you don't mind sharing.
I pretty much I timed it, bro. I timed it up really good. Because so the fact that it started raining made the demand go down, but I actually got them or I put them on sale before we even found out who we were playing, and I sold them for like 500 each. But
Nice.
but people were going for like I seen it drop down to like 260 each. So like people got half of that. So I initially I paid how much did I pay? Oh yeah, $530, and then I pretty much sold them for 500 each. They got their 10% cut, and I got $900 payout. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure the next round, yeah, the next round I paid like this round I paid $782. But I have to see like if it keeps dropping, but I don't think it's gonna drop because the Lions they're going to their first NFC Championship game in decades. Like their demand is gonna go up. I think like some of those millionaires or those guys that have money out there, they're gonna want to come to this game. This might be their only chance to go to that game. Like as a Lions fan and
Yeah,
watch them
yeah.
live. So I hope the demand makes it go up. Like their demand for the game meets us, and it makes it go up. Because I was a little sad when the Cowboys lost. I mean, I was happy and sad, but I was like, damn, that was like, if the only way we are gonna play the Cowboys if they met us in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, in the
NFC,
NFC Championship.
oh yeah, NFC Championship game versus the Cowboys. You're talking about $2,000 tickets for me.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. Well, to be
So,
honest with you, is this a lot of people? Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's fucking as popular as it can possibly be. But you never know, man. They
but
might
Detroit,
Lions, NFC
how
Championship games. They might.
how popular you think Detroit is? You
Oh,
know,
dude, when they show out, I'm sure that there'll be somebody that is willing. In terms of a global standpoint, like a
like
United States standpoint, yeah,
yeah,
they're
like
not
a
that
fan base.
popular, but a lot of people are rooting for them. So I'm
Yeah.
not too sure how exotic if that's the proper word, but their fan base is gonna be like, oh yeah, we're gonna travel to San Francisco, we're gonna take over.
Hmm.
I don't know if they travel that well, but
Yeah, I don't know.
you never know, bro. It's still an NFC Championship game, so I don't think that poll is gonna drop significantly. I think you're gonna be really surprised by company in them, and you're gonna be like, damn, these motherfuckers showed out.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, cause they're going to their first NFC Championship game in their franchise history, or like
Exactly.
over like a couple years, because they're talking about like the AFL NFL merger, and I guess they went to a championship before that merger. So that's the thing about the Detroit. But Detroit Lions have always been Detroit Lions. Like they've been a team since I don't know when, but um, they've never changed up. So I think one of the old school, they're more of the old school fan bases. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, man. Hopefully we get some 8 Mile white trailer trash. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
Vince is asking how he's wondering how much the tickets will go next week. Do you have an estimate right now, like on your section, your row, just to give them like a scoop?
so the prices they when I checked like a couple hours ago, I seen the like my section. It's pretty much the mid section, 200s. It's
Yeah.
200s. The lower section is because there's three levels, right? There's like the lower level, which is the hundreds,
Yeah.
and then there's the 200s, and then there's this very small section in between. It's the 300s, but there's very few of those. And then nosebleeds, that's where we were at. Those are the 400s. Uh, Remember we went to the NFC Championship
Yeah,
game?
yeah, like 4 years ago,
Yeah,
2019.
yeah. So we went to nosebleeds. Those are 400s, but so 200s. The 200 level, they're like $800 each right now. I think they're dropping right now to like 600, but the cheapest you'll find, yeah, cheapest you'll find the mid level is like 600 to like 700, I think, and then the lower level you're looking more towards like 900 to like 1100, and then if you're trying to get really close, like it's still the hundreds. It'll be like it'll be like I think it'll be like over like 1300,
Got
to get
you.
close.
Well,
Over where like E40 sits and all that. Like yeah, like 1300 each, like more, way more. I think seats are going for like 5 to 6 grand, for certain seats, and then but yeah, I think that they'll go up, like just because people will find out that it's not raining. I think the last game, I think people like found out that it was raining and demand went down. Like people just didn't want to go, And I think people
yeah.
value that. They're not trying to get sick.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, absolutely. Just I don't know if you guys can see the screen, but here's just a little section, Vince. So, like for example, like Drew was saying, the 400s, which are the nosebleeds are basically $600,
Yeah.
right? And this is StubHub. There's like Ticketmaster and company, but yeah, the nosebleeds, Vince, they're damn near $600. I don't know if you can see the little mouse or the cursor. 644. Drew is a season ticket holder, so he has the 200s.
Mhm.
Um, so his are basically they just average 700
Yeah.
to a
Hmm.
700 to 1,780. So you
Yeah.
said, let's say for example, Drew's section is 212 or 208,
Hmm.
$900 tickets.
Yeah.
And nosebleeds, I always look at the nosebleeds. If the nosebleeds are super expensive, I'm not even gonna check like field level, because
Hmm.
I'm not just gonna break the bank. I can watch this at the comfort of my home for $200, make some carne asada, some beers, some salsa, and I'm chilling. I can be naked and in my underoos type of shit. But
Yeah.
yeah, nosebleeds, fucking a. Let's see, section 414. Yeah, but hey, man, like even then, huh, Drew? When we went to it and we were at the nosebleeds at the very top, we still had a fucking blast, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there's a
It was
thing like
cold.
like we realized how important the standing room was, and I think going for that is like, man, the worth it because we're trying to walk around, we're trying to be near restrooms, like it was dope. It was dope. I still liked it.
Yeah, I agree. It was really cold, but it was really enjoyable. And
It
but
was
yeah,
up there though. We're like
it,
two
it
rows
was
behind.
up there. Remember, we fucking felt like we were gonna fall down because of the wind.
I know. Like we were
Yeah,
like I don't know how many rows away from the wall.
yeah, we were up there, bro. We were like, I don't know, probably row 34.
Damn near last row.
Yeah,
But yeah, the nosebleeds, they have really steep stairs. So it's kind of like they're really tall steps, And it's like, damn, man, like it's crazy. I in my section there's a season ticket holder, and he always goes up in the cane. Like, and I'm like, you crazy, bro. Like he's always struggling too. He's like going all
yeah,
slow, and I'm like, damn, dude. Like, I'm not sure if you're trying to prove a point, but you can get these things relocated and show them that you're handicapped. You know, Let me
yeah.
know if someone is handicapped. I can use them as a. Never mind.
No, I get what you're saying, bro. Just a little heads up in the game. The score is 13-10. Kansas City Chiefs are winning. But it looks like the Buffalo just called timeout with 40 seconds left, and they already in the red zone, maybe like 6 yards out to make a touchdown. Do you think, Drew? I don't know if I've asked you this, so if I did, I apologize for repeating myself, as I hate to do. Do you think tonight is a night that Josh Allen finally beats Mahomes?
I think so.
Think so?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
you're saying 80 to 20 chance the Niners will beat and advance to the Super Bowl and beat the Detroit Lions. So if you're saying tonight that Josh Allen will beat the Chiefs, you're looking at Bills versus Baltimore. So who wins that?
I think Baltimore, man. I think Baltimore is gonna make them look silly. Like whoever they play, they're gonna make them look silly. Like I really don't think no one like in the NFC beats them. Like I think it's really just us, bro. Like no one really drove the ball down the field like we did. Like I'm watching the Houston Texans game, and CJ Stroud's just struggling to run but go down the field. And that's something that we did with ease. We went down like the first drive I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like we went down the field. Like I know we got that ball intercepted, but we Brock Purdy was going through his progressions and he was doing his
Yeah.
thing, man. And CJ Stroud is not a fucking bad quarterback. Like I think he's fucking really gonna be a really good quarterback. And he couldn't do anything, dude. And I know they don't have receivers, but I know Nico Collins is pretty damn good. And yeah, just
Well,
seeing the way we drove the ball down the field on the Ravens, I'm like this dude just got to make more impactful plays. Like when the red zone, like man, we could have won that game. That was a really winnable game. Like these Packers, this Packers game was really like a hard game to win, bro. Like that was really a tough game. Like I don't think it was kind of different with Baltimore, right? Like they really just it was like fluky plays, like like they weren't supposed to happen. Like they weren't supposed to intercept certain plays, bro. Like instead they were supposed to be fourth and 4 and outs, and we're supposed to get the ball back, not have them not really give them they intercepted it and literally gave themselves um field goal range, and put them in red zones type of thing. Like they didn't really drive the ball for most of those points, like
yeah,
they
it was
drove
all
down.
short field advantage because of
Yeah.
Brock Purdy throwing the pick. No, I get that, but I'm gonna say it
Mhm.
like this. At halftime, the score, let's say, was 16-13. Ravens were up. So the game was close. Yesterday's
Mhm.
game between the Houston and Texans and the Baltimore Ravens, it was also close, 10-10, right? And then the game is always about the second half and who makes the adjustments. And the Ravens, they went on a tear, 34-10. Same thing with the Niners. It was like 33-16. So basically what I'm saying is, like, the Ravens, they know they can beat us. And you could say, like, oh well, Brock Purdy, more than likely he's not going to throw 4 interceptions again in the Super Bowl. More than likely. But it's not like we were beating them before those interceptions happened, you know? And there's one thing I'll say about this. There is no panic. There is a calm demeanor when Lamar Jackson has the ball. So let's say Lamar Jackson does throw interceptions or you are sacking them. You're always panicking as a defensive coordinator, even if you're Fred Warner or Nick Bosa, because of his scrambling ability. If no one is down the field, he's like a prime Russell Wilson. I'm going to roll left. I'm going to roll right. I'm going to go up the middle. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to just fucking play backyard football, find the hole, and he looks like he doesn't gas. And it's just smooth effort, almost as if he's floating on water, bro. I don't see that demeanor with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy of late, in terms of the last 3 weeks since that Baltimore Ravens game. Even when we beat the Jaguars 34-3, I didn't see that calm demeanor in Purdy. I was like, damn, bro, why are you making that throw to George Kittle? Oh, you got lucky. Why are you making that triple coverage, cross body throw over to Brandon Ayuk? You got lucky. Chickens came home to roost in the later half of the season, especially against the Ravens. You couldn't get away with fucking hero plays like that against Hamilton or Marlon Humphreys or company. So that's what I'm saying in terms of that demeanor with Brock Purdy. I don't see that calm factor that I see with Lamar. And right now, it just looks like Lamar, people fucked up. You know, people fucked up. And he was testing the market to see which team would try to sign him. He went to Atlanta. He went to all these teams. And everyone was like, now I'm good. And Lamar is like, I remember that. See, Lamar keeps receipts. And I'm pretty sure the Niners should have picked him up. You know, I remember there was a time that Deshaun Watson from the Houston Texans, he was rocking the Niner jerseys and taking selfies, and everyone's like, "Oh, we should get Deshaun Jackson." No, we should have gone Lamar. That would have been our version of RG3 when he was with Kyle Shanahan over there in Washington. But look, man, thank you for tuning in, Vince and company and Sports Archives. Thank you guys for tuning in and just giving us a little bit of your time here on a Sunday Night Football as the football playoffs come along. But I wish you guys good health. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about, Drew, or you feel like we
No,
like just had a cool little chop it up session?
yeah, no, it's just letting it venting. I'm venting. There's a lot
Yeah,
things because things are up in the air. Like we kind of just act off of emotions sometimes, but
yeah,
through time, sometimes like I don't want to get into the Kyle Shanahan stuff, but I'm starting to see that.
yeah,
So it's just stuff like that. Like I think we this year will be cutting the fat and really not letting the players that are bringing us down let not keeping them
yeah.
around type of stuff. But nothing to
Yeah,
say. Everything's up in there still.
I agree, brother. I mean, I guess to your point, kind of like being a Dallas Cowboy fan is very similar to being a San Francisco 49er fan, right? Like this season
Mm,
is a success. Like we had a winning record. We are
right.
again in an NFC championship game, right? But it's just the expectations. You see, like if we're the Detroit Lions or we're the Green Bay Packers of this year, we're like, yeah, we haven't been to the playoffs in 10 years. So the Lions, you're like, yeah. As for the Packers, you're like, dude, we have a bunch of rookies. The future looks bright. It's winning regardless because we're not even
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be here. But when you have that expectation, right? It's like being a Dodgers fan or the Yankees fan or a Boston
Right.
Celtics fan or Lakers. That
Mm-hmm.
expectation is gold. We
Right.
look gold. We want Super Bowls. That's
It's
how we.
expected.
I agree. So I guess going what
four
you
and
were
five
saying right
years.
now, it's like this is a winning season. Like we should be happy of our players, even though they didn't play great yesterday or to what their caliber that we're accustomed to seeing them execute.
Mm-hmm.
It is a winning year, just how last year. But it's just at least in my time, bro. At least in terms of the youth and the age that we are in, I just want to win one, and I can be like, bro, I got to see like the Giants win a World Series. I got to see like the Golden State Warriors or the Lakers win championships, and I just need to see what people talked about their glory years. Because I'm not a Patriots fan, but in some sections, I'm like, I got to watch. I'm more of a Patriots fan, almost like I'm part of that history from a fan standpoint. I didn't get to see the Niners in the early '90s, late '80s, but I got to see Tom Brady and company.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's
I
our version
think,
of their heyday. I just
yeah,
wanted to be in red and gold. And we might not get that, but I just feel like I just want to see one Super Bowl in my lifetime with the Niners, and I can be like, all right, bro, I'm gonna
yeah.
hang these gloves.
And I think for me, I think if we win one this year, I think it's gonna be hard for me to be mad. Like whenever we lose, like it's just gonna be so hard. Like I'm gonna be like, oh, this is a terrible game, but fuck, I'm always gonna look back at this ring that we have. It's
Yeah.
gonna release a lot of tension in our hearts. That for us Niner fans, especially if you're like, when do you think people started really remembering the '94 Super Bowl? Really, that's the most recent Super Bowl, but
Yeah.
really '88 babies, like late '80 babies, kind of remember that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For our age group, it's kind of like we don't even remember like technically the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, we were like a couple months old, bro.
Yep.
So we weren't even able to remember so it's leaving a hole in our hearts for Niner fans. So I think I think if we hold a prayer right now, no, I'm just kidding. Um,
Yeah, man. No, that's funny, bro. That's yeah, no, I agree, man. I only know of the stories. I have a VHS cassette called Gold Rush. I think it was
mm,
a three-piece, or maybe that VHS holds all five Super Bowls in there. But that's that's like my association to seeing that, and maybe some football cards that I have um, of when people speak of Jerry Rice and company. But yeah, man, I agree. It would relieve a lot of tension and a lot of just, I guess, time consuming because we do, as fans and just as humans, as an Americans, we do value football a lot. We do embedded it. with like our culture and
It's
everything.
crazy, huh? Like,
It is a lot, yeah, for sure. It is a
because
lot of time and emotion invested. But yeah, to your point, it's gonna be hard if we win one and then the next 10 years we suck. You're not gonna be like you can accept the defeat because you can't always be great every single year. But yeah, man.
it's gonna be a lot, like I think it's crazy how people don't ever hold a football yet they're watching football. That's just what it is when it comes down to football with your favorite
Yeah,
team, at least.
absolutely, Drew. But on that note, brother, have a good rest of your Sunday night, man. Enjoy the next half of football. And fuck, dude, maybe I'll see you next week. Well, at least talking football again.
Oh yeah, hey, and then don't forget the intro.
Yeah. I have one, but I think I'm gonna have to change the title. But I'm gonna try to make a better one.
Okay.
Especially, I don't know. I guess I gotta watch more videos how I go about executing the StreamYard because they have a lot of tabs here. Like
Mm,
they have this section. Watch, you'll see right here on the screen. It has that says banners. It says brand. So it says like a theme right here, a logo right here, and
mm,
overlays here. So I'm thinking like if I add a video clip to the live, could I add a
mm,
video clip? And I think that'll be the intro. So
mm,
instead of this little countdown, it'll
mm-hmm.
add the intro that I'm looking for. So I just
Right.
gotta play with this, create stuff on the editing software program, dub it into here, have it as a template, and then boom, we can start cooking with hot grease. But
And then because we can use all that effort speed does on the post, like he does a lot of wording, bro. Like it's I know some boxing fans, real boxing fans, are willing to read all that stuff that he posts, like.
or like on
So
his captions.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think we should quote ourselves whenever we post, so we know whose opinion it is.
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
But
Yeah, no,
yeah.
very good point, man. But yeah, bro, we'll see. I'll probably try to make that intro. It's gonna take some while because I still need to brainstorm what exactly it is that I want to do. Do I want to do like a little what do you call it? Like a little mashup of highlights of best knockouts? Do I want to make it unique? So I'll go into After Effects and that software and then just mess around with it, or do I make something generic? I still need to like brainstorm what it is exactly that I want to put. But yeah, Vince goes. I agree with Randy Gregory. They should try to keep him around. I'm sure he'll want to stay if he's on every snap with the rest, of course. Then he goes, I wonder how much tickets it will be for next week. It is difficult. It is different when you live through it. I remember Steve Young's Super Bowl. I remember Joe Cool versus Cincinnati Bengals. Even those who witnessed it think it has been way too long. Damn. Yeah, man, because not only is that decades, probably between 30 to 40 years ago, right? Um,
Yeah.
it is a really long time, but
Yeah,
yeah,
way too long, man. It's just we.
like to be honest with you, yeah, that is a really long time. And
Mhm.
and
It'll
going
kind of cause, because there's like I think Niners fans are like the second most popular team behind the Cowboys. I think it'll cause like like an economic like eruption. Like I think like
yeah.
so many people will be so happy. It's like we're willing to live our lives to the fullest now. Like I don't. It'll cause so much havoc, bro. Like I'm gonna go crazy when we do. You know.
Look, man, I like to collect newspapers. Now, I'm not a big old hoarder, but I love to preserve and collect things. And I can't wait to get that San Francisco Chronicle. In fact, I was a
Mm,
little upset that they had a full page of Brock Purdy on the Chronicle that I didn't know about.
mm,
Like for example, I have the Barry Bonds when he was breaking Hank Aaron Babe Ruth's record, and he set the record of the most home runs. So I have some of those laminated and just framed, just because it's one of those things like a relic. It's like having a newspaper. Like I don't know if I can say this, but let's say if they shot one of our presidents, that would be tumultuous. It'd be chaotic. But every little thing that you preserve of that era is history. And
mm-hmm,
50 years down the line, you can be like, yeah, man, this guy was a great president. He fucking reinvigorated. What it made you really feel honored and patriotic about everything that we did. Like he instilled a confidence, and we're gonna do the right thing and make America just beautiful well, whatever. You know what I mean? It just that
Hmm.
So like to preserve those newspapers. Let me
And I
go.
told you,
Um,
I
Vince
told.
goes, it's different when you. Okay, I read that when he goes. Even those who
Mhm.
witnessed the thing has been way too long. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Vince. Me and Drew went to the 2019 NFC Championship against the Niners and the Packers. I think we won 34-20. Raheem Moser popped off for like 400 rushing yards. George Kittle had an amazing thing. I don't remember.
400.
And I don't know how much it was, but I don't even remember one detail. In fact, when I went
Right.
home and I saw the highlights, I thought it was at a completely different game. I was like, dude, what the heck is this?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
from the perspective and where you at, and you're drinking and you're shooting the shit with the fans and being
Mhm.
ruthless.
Hey,
But, I don't remember anything.
if we win the Super Bowl, remember, I get to get a buy however many replicas of the ring. I get to get the championship ring.
You get to get one
Yeah,
because you're a season ticket holder, or just because?
yeah. Because I'm a season ticket holder, I can buy like up to four of them.
Wow, that's fucking Joe cool, dude. That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. You better
So
say part me one, bro.
that's why I'm saying, you want to
Yes,
buy
sir.
one?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're only like
Vince goes,
$200, but
I read that one. Adam Hurley, he goes, "Who is your team, Ricky?" Man, brother, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're from Arizona, but I'm a Niner fan, man. I'm a Niner fan.
Niner
Vince
fan.
Vargas goes, "It's like when the Warriors won their championship, excitement through the roof." I agree. I agree.
Hold on, let me talk to Adam Hurley real quick.
Okay.
Hey, Adam Hurley. We just made an Instagram page. Um, the homie Ricky Boxing, or the homie Ricky podcast IG page. Follow it. We're just barely starting. Um, you got to
Very
pressure this
direct,
guy. You got to pressure this guy to start his intro so we can get this channel a lot bigger whenever we talk about boxing. So FYI, I know Adam Hurley's been supporting us since day one. So shout out to you, man.
for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna get more creative, man, just cause but right now we don't even have no content. So I think you guys should let up on people and just wait until we build it.
All
Um
right.
Adam goes, I will. What's it called? I think it's called the Homie Ricky Podcast.
Yeah,
IMG.
the
Because I
homie
guess
Ricky.
they don't. I guess these guys want to make it more official. But Drew, I want to ask you guys because I know you guys kind of made this out of the dark and out of the blue. What is it that you guys want to start posting then? Like, you guys trying to make memes? Are you guys trying to be reporters? Like I'm
No,
just doing this as a fan and just having people and just having fun and talk and act like I know my boxing. But what are you guys looking to do? Because you guys are trying to take this official. That means I got to put on a suit and tie type of thing. Like, what's going on? What are you guys looking to do? You know?
so most of them are literally just kind of do like say how we like how we have a group chat, right? And we're sending pretty much just like news feed, like we're sharing shit, like notifying you like this post, like we like to share posts all the time.
Yeah,
Like we
yeah,
literally
yeah.
kind of do something like that, but put our own quote to it. So like whenever we want to act fast, but this is the thing, like we can also you know, ask like permission to like share the post, and as long as we give credit where credit is due, type of stuff. But it's literally small stuff like that, and then boom, we get to. There's also a lot of pages that do memes as well, so it's not like all the way official. It's tied. It's tied with our podcast as well. You know.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, cause like I know Speed has always like I started YouTube like kind of like when it started like a long time ago, but I never really kept up with it. To me, it was always about fun, like just having fun and just like
And that's what it is. It's fun too.
yeah,
It's
and but I
memes.
never wanted to be like never really wanted to be like anyway. So he always wanted to keep it like he wanted to like oh dude we should be you know you should buy
What it is we're trying to.
contacts and stuff. And I was just like, look, man, I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to share my piece and then just bounce. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Um,
no, that's what it is. That's what it should be about. Like, I think, Speed is taking it like more serious than us. I think we don't have to take it serious because it's like we're just being ourselves. Like he can do whatever he wants to do with his personality or whatever he wants to do. But I mean, we're just gonna continue to be ourselves, and and the outside world will see it. you know,
Okay, got you. Yeah, because I wouldn't mind like just making memes and just clowning people, but also
that's what I'm
reporting
thinking
what
about
I do.
doing.
Yeah, that would be cool. Cause like, yeah, man, cause like I feel, yeah, cause at one point I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had this channel, right? Not this one, but it was another one. It was called Knuckle Buckle Boxing or Chicano Stick and Move Boxing, something like
Mm,
that. And during that time, there was a lot of racism on the YouTube, bro. I think the YouTubers they used to call themselves the YTBC, like the YouTube boxing
mm,
community, and
mm,
everybody had their shtick. But you knew like, oh, this person speaks this. This is more reasonable reporting. This is more like I'm affiliated with the Browns. I'm affiliated with the Blacks. I'm affiliated
mm,
with the Russians, or whatever the case may be. So it's
mm.
very segregated and stuff like that. And my channel was getting momentum because I only kind of spoke about like the Latinos and I spoke about everybody. But
Right.
for because of the name, it was like that. And then a lot of people started sending me links. This is where I started losing my passion for it. A lot of people
Mm,
sending links, and they're like, "Hey,
right.
dude, look what this guy said about I said
Uh,
De La Hoya because I speak highly of Oscar. You know, I love what he's done, or I'll speak highly of like this situation. You know, but I'll still be critical.
mm,
But they'd be like, "Oh, dude, he's talking bad about this. Go rebuttal,
mm.
debate them." And I was like, "Bro, I'm not
This
trying to
isn't
do
high school.
like no, it's not that. It's just like I'm not trying to debate them. Like you know, like that's
Right.
not I it's not that I don't care. It's just like I
It's
really
okay. It's
don't
okay to
care
say that.
about arguing over another man. I see it fit one way. I'll debate like on the
Right.
channel and just have fun and we keep it moving. So
Yeah.
for instance, there was even let's say Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. Like I'm fans of both of those guys. Now I might want Spence to beat Bud mainly because I liked his run at welterweight. I thought it was pretty incredible, and he was giving us good fucking fights with Sean Porter and Kell Brook and Yordenis Ugas. I was like, this was dope. And for Bud Crawford, I was just like, look, I know he might be a little better, but fuck that guy. I'm
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
I mean, like Crawford was never. You knew he was a talent, but he was never accessible to people. He
Hmm.
was always distant. He was always like a recluse. Like I'm gonna be over here, do my own thing, and
Hmm.
never. It was never about it. Like in terms of interaction with the fans. Now, if you talk to him one on one, he's probably pretty cool. But it always seemed like he was angst. He had like a chip on his shoulder,
Hmm.
and you just couldn't like vibe with him really cool. For example, like
Right.
when we met Miguel Cotto and we met Teofimo, like from an instant boom, we it was like we were high school buds. I don't think you would
Hmm.
get the impression with Bud Crawford. He'd probably be like trying to size you up and just be like, "Yo, what's going on? Like, what's up, fool?"
Hmm.
Uh, Anyway, long story
But
short,
what I
yeah,
was
that's one of the things that I was kind of like wondering what your guys' intent.
so
Uh,
this is what it is, right? So we're all different personalities, right? And we all have our own niches as far as what we can do on social media. I feel like I'm a little better on Instagram, and I feel like Instagram is another pool of interest in boxing that we're kind of like not touching at.
yeah,
And what I realize is that there's more genuine people on Instagram that talk about boxing, and I feel like and I feel like rather than like other social medias, like I feel like TikTok and Facebook are more for like, or TikTok's more for like kids and like fame people trying to get more clicks and all that. We're trying to get genuine clicks, and we're and for like laughs as well, So I think I pictured Speed, just he's more of the talker. Like let him do the emotional speeches and whatever he thinks, as long as he's quoting himself and he's saying or he's putting in who's saying it, and I'll be the funny guy. I'm the one that you can join as well. You can make memes as well. And I was gonna be the funny guy. Like I don't like that's not me to like type a whole poem. And also what I realize is Speed doesn't have the IG intellect, like he isn't experienced, like we are talking about it earlier in the chat. And I'm like realize like he's in isn't as experienced on IG than I am, and there's a lot of things that he doesn't know yet. And I feel like, I could use that to my advantage, like our advantage, and we can actually touch more people that care about boxing. You're gonna do what you want, like you can say that how you feel and all that, and you can say like I'm excited about this, really excited about this one. The other guys don't think so. but I am, and usually Speed is the one that's interested in misfits, so he can say that, and he can say that, and he can also say what we're saying. Like these guys really just said that they don't like this, like stuff like that. Like we can all continue to be ourselves. Like we don't have to be professional and put a suit on. No one is in boxing, bro. Like we all have our sweats on. Like all these, they're doing it for fun, bro. Like we're just
Yeah, no,
talking.
I feel it. No, one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to at least in the upcoming this year, I wanted to organize the garage, not just have the classic car in there. Like I wanted to like get a badass desk because I'm creating this resin table, and I wanted to put like a fucking like a court gavel, like a judge gavel, and then I wanted to make a panel, not just how you guys come right here in the left side of the screen. Like imagine I set up my computers, I set up the lighting, I set up the drop, and like the neon lights poster, like make it fucking dope, like a dope stage. So like we can have this conversation, but actually keep it live. I
Mm.
wanted to make it official. So, one guy can be like, who's ever, orchestrating the panel, let's say it's Speed or myself or you can have the judge gown and you can have the gavel, like order in the court. And then everyone's just kind of like chopping it up, having fun on this side. You can have like the defendant and the other
Yeah,
guy, the prosecutor, whatever the case may be.
yeah,
But
I
by
like that.
and we can be in street clothes or whatever's, but there'd be some type of structure. It is something
Hey,
that'd be a little different.
can I
Uh,
say where you got that from, or did you just
uh,
think of that?
no, go ahead. I mean, I'm just shooting the shit from the hip, but what do you think I got it from?
Bro, I just seen a show last week on NFL Network. NFL Network had that same thing. That there's a bald guy, I forget his name. He's one of the commentators. He's one of the main guys at NFL Network, and he was literally dressed as a judge, and the chick was speaking her piece on the teams and all this stuff. But I agree, that's cool for boxing. I like that.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, is the bald guy Rich Eisen?
Yeah, Rich Eisen. He
Okay,
had a
I
show.
like Rich Eisen. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't have cable television like that, so I'm not really caught in the loop, and I'm pretty sure it's not that innovative. Like, bro, I mean, if I can shoot it from the hip, but I wanted to do something really cool. But there'd be moments like, let's say the defendant or the prosecutor, let's say you wanted to get sponsored by Corona, you would have a beer there or a Moscow Mule, and you're like, nah, dude,
Hmm.
and you would make a fun live rather than just like, I wanted to do fun stuff like that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Um,
sounds cool as fuck.
not necessarily like we're acting, but for the camera. But we still get our points across. We can be
Yeah,
joyful one day and be all sad and depressed, like if Canelo gets knocked out
yeah.
or BF or whatever. But it would just.
That's dope.
But
And
yeah,
and
man.
other,
On that
yeah.
note, Adam, Vince, Sports Archives, man, I appreciate you guys for always tuning in. And like I said, giving us a little bit part of your time on Sundays just to have fun. But yeah, man, if there's any topics that you guys want us to cover, any fighter that we should look out for, leave it in the comments. Even if it's like a month later, YouTube does this really good job on the bell icon. So like, let's say if you leave a comment, I'll receive it. And
And that
yeah,
boxing.
in
Yeah.
case you don't catch it live or whatever the case may be. But if you're like, yeah, dude, you got to look at this dude, Richard Torres or Emiliano Zapata or whatever the case may be, like send out that little information and we'll do like a little deep dive. And there's anything that you guys are really interested, it doesn't even have to necessarily be football or baseball or sports related. It can be any type of like political subject. I love doing the research, and I
Mhm.
always feel like in the past, I've always done that's always kind of what I like more to do than boxing. But anyway, if you guys have any type of subjects that you guys want to address, artificials, if you guys have like artificial intelligence, if you guys, let me know, and
Mhm.
then we can address it. You guys can maybe hop on the panel and then give your guys' point of views as well.
One last thing, the Instagram page is the homie Ricky boxing. Or damn it, I messed up. The homie Ricky podcast. The homie Ricky podcast without any spaces, all lowercase.
And
The
what does the
homie
icon look
Ricky
like?
podcast. The icon looks like the YouTube icon, except it says the homie Ricky podcast wrapped around it, and you'll see it. It's a little
Okay,
graphic I
so
did.
it's a yellow
Some
icon.
slight, some some slight.
Alrighty, guys. Sounds good, Drew. Shout out to you, man, for creating that page. And
Yep.
Adam, Vince, everybody that tuned in, man. Have a blessed Sunday, and we'll see you guys maybe after, unless there's something like a news pops up during the middle of the week, or probably after Jaime Munguia and John Ryder on Saturday, right?
Yep. Good fight right
Alrighty,
there.
guys. Have a good one.
All right, man. Peace.
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 Peace.